Now, this was the last thing that I was actually imagining ever happen, especially just considering, in fact, most people end up considering them to be big-time rivals, just considering the respective markets that they're in. But Sony Pictures is supposed to be working on an animated Super Mario Brothers movie. And I'm all for this idea. And naturally, the first thing that ended up springing to mind whenever you associate Super Mario Brothers and movie is the old school 90s live-action Super Mario Brothers movie that had Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo, Dennis Hopper and stuff, which it's one of those so bad it's good type movies. I know there's plenty of people out there like, that movie fucking sucks so much, but I think it's one of those lovable turds. I truly do. I'm just like, it sucks so bad, but you can't hate the movie. Come on. It tried. It tried. It's one of those just like, you know, here's those Special Olympics prize type deals. Yeah, good for you. Banana sticker and all the other shit. And also, we missed you, Bob Hoskins. You know, now that I think about it, two live-action actors, we had Captain Lou Albano did Super Mario Brothers Super Show, Bob Hoskins, who was in the live-action Super Mario Brothers movie, and both of them have passed away. That makes me sad because, I mean, I'm a big fan of wrestling, and I always like Captain Lou, like a whole bunch. Bob Hoskins was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit in the live-action Super Mario Brothers movie. I'm just, oh, and Hook, I can't forget that, but he's also in a bunch of other movies and stuff, but yeah, damn, that actually makes me kind of sad. But anyhow, but it made me wonder if they're going to end up having Mario talk the entire time, or if he's going to be a borderline silent protagonist. You know, how he is in a lot of the games and stuff, where he ends up just doing like a whole bunch of crazy mannerisms and stuff, which I liked a whole bunch whenever they did that in Super Mario RPG on Super Nintendo. I always thought that was amazing. He'd like start changing into people to go and explain what the hell was going on. They're just like, what the fuck, man? But it would be interesting if Charles Martinet, I'm saying his name right, yeah, Charles Martinet, if he ended up going and reprising the role just, you know, with the random quips that Mario would say, or if he ended up doing the voice the entire time. This is actually like part of a seeming wave of video game adaptations into animated form. And it's weird because I always think that whenever I associate video games and movies, a lot of times I think it'd be cool if it was an animated movie or just like a straight up anime. Like, okay, fuck it. For example, because I have it sitting right here, because someone was kind enough to go and give this to me, but this is Devil May Cry anime, which I fucking love this to death. Now, a live-action Devil May Cry movie, that wouldn't... I can imagine that fucking failing miserably on so many goddamn levels. But the anime's the shit. In the animated movies, you figure there's Sly Cooper coming out, Ratchet and Clank, let's see, they had the new Sonic series that came out recently, and I'm sure that there's like a whole bunch of others out there that are being worked on. I just can't think of them at the moment. But it's one of those things I can totally see working a whole bunch. And I think about a whole bunch of other game series out there that I would like to see adapted. Like, I want to go and check out the Bayonetta anime, for example. And that could even work in, like, an all-CG type form and stuff. And considering the fact that, you know, I didn't even think about that, the correlation between Devil May Cry and Bayonetta. Why I thought about those ones first, I have no clue. But think about some other stuff. The CG movies that are based off the Resident Evil games. Those are the shit. I fucking love those movies to death, and I've gone on record multiple times talking about how much I enjoy both of those movies, and actually, you know what, those would make really good anime too. I'm just, again, putting out the obvious and stuff, but something like this, Sony Pictures working on it, it makes me wonder, you know who ought to be making movies, and this is God honest fucking truth? It's Blizzard. Blizzard should be making animated movies. Every fucking time they seem to churn out anything. Like, they're all their CG artists and directors and writers and everything in between are like top-notch killer motherfuckers. Like, they can do DreamWorks style stuff, Disney style stuff, and they can do it, bam, just like that. And they can also do like real dark, foreboding, action-packed, crazy-ass epic fantasy adventure and shit. I'm just like, they should be doing that kind of stuff. But it's just Sony making a Super Mario movie. It just makes me wonder. I mean, granted, it's Sony Pictures, so you know, Sony's movie division and stuff working on it, but it just makes you wonder, why can't these companies work together more often? And granted, this is very, very like early in the planning stages, so it's not like they have an entire cast together, don't have anything exactly to go and show off. It's just that it's something being worked on. I mean, hell, for all we know, this could be canceled down the road, because many projects get started and never get anywhere just for, you know, tons of different reasons. And this could end up being one of those things, but I would love to be able to go to a movie and take my son with me and go watch a Super Mario Brothers movie on the big screen. I just think that that would be awesome as shit. Like, I think it would be a whole lot of fun. I think it'd be cool to go with my best friends. I'd have my nephews there so that we could go and watch something like that and watch it together. And then we could go back to the house, go grab some fucking beers, sit down and play Super Mario Brothers 3D World, you know, in fucking 3 and 4 player and stuff. Like, I love that idea. Like, I truly do. So something like this, I do want to see happen. Just, I wonder what direction that they'll go with it. I truly think it would make a lot more sense for all the other characters to, you know, do their voice work a whole bunch, and Mario is just like the silent type character and stuff, you know. Because I look at the Paper Mario games, Super Mario RPG, the Mario and Luigi games and stuff, and it ends up working very well like that. And I'd want it to be like very high on comedy and stuff. You know, look at Wreck-It Ralph, for example. That'd be an interesting little thing to go and include just for shits and giggles, since Wreck-It Ralph was kind of like an all-encompassing, fuck it, we'll take video game characters from everything and stuff. And you never know, something like this did really well. Just imagine, you know, we had that animated Super Smash Brothers anime type thing that had happened, and that was killer as fuck looking. Well, just imagine if they decided that they were going to go after more properties that they have. Like, what I wouldn't give for a straight up anime adaptation of the Metroid games. Holy fuck, would that be seriously amazing. I mean, a live action version of it would be really cool. But that's one of those things you'd have to be extremely careful with, and they'd have to actually care about it, and they'd have to have a budget that's like through the goddamn roof. But if done well, can you imagine seeing that on the big screen? You know, I imagine that's like a sci-fi, you know, Star Wars type level shit, and it, you know, the best bounty hunter in the entire goddamn galaxy going around and just fucking taking out planets worth of fucking baddies and shit, all for the greater good of mankind. But it's just one of those things that I would like to see this do well, and I would like to see it done with more things, because I hate the whole video game movie stigma that's out there, because a lot of video games, they tell an extremely amazing story. I mean, if you've ever picked up an Uncharted game, or actually any Naughty Dog game, like you can get The Last of Us, for example. They tell a fucking story that it legitimately is like watching a movie. If anybody tried saying, oh yeah, the voice acting isn't all that great, and oh well, the animations that they use and stuff, it's not as engrossing, it's not as deep, it's not as detailed, I'm not all that into. I'd say that you're fucking crazy, because it's legitimately like an Indiana Jones style movie, and it's fucking cool. You know, and that's something that a lot of people have rumored talking about, you know, oh, they might make an Uncharted movie, might begin a Metal Gear Solid movie. There's so many things that could make for a good movie if they took proper care of it. I don't want to see it turn into some shit like House of the Dead or Blood Rain, for example, because that's when they fuck up bad. Because they're just like, no fucks were given, as you can see. And it's like, why did you do this? It had so much potential, you fucking son of a bitch. Oh well. But either way, just thoughts and feelings on this. Do you think it could turn out to be something good? Do you think it might not end up becoming anything at all? If you had to go and pick any actors or a storyline, just tons of variables, tons of things to go and think about. Either way, there's a comment box to go and share that. And if you have any ideas and want to make it in video form, then kapow! You can go and do that too. So, yeah. This is AlphaOmegaSin, as always. Nerds, nerdettes, and gamers. Game the fuck on.